Hail, adventurers! This is D100 Superfan here to give you a quick review of the D100 Dungeon solo adventure game by Martin Knight. This is a great adventure game and I can't wait to tell you all about it. So strap on those sabatons and a questing we will go. D100 Dungeon is a game full of adventure, peril, treasure, encounters with fantastical and terrifying beasts and monsters, and of course, loot. It's all about the loot. Is fate with you? Is luck on your side? Roll the dice and see. It's as simple as that. Most actions in this game, from combat to finding of treasure, is handled with a D100 roll. Players begin by creating an adventurer from the available race and class combinations. Will you be a mighty warrior? Will you be a powerful wizard? Or perhaps a skillful rogue? Adventurers receive certain bonuses according to their racial ancestry. Play as an adventurous and ambitious human, or a mighty and stout dwarf, or perhaps a more thoughtful and graceful elf is more your play style. All are equally valid and can all achieve the heights of power and mastery of skill required to complete the quests. Allow me to show you an example character that I've created, a stout dwarf warrior named Kraz Uldun. Here we can see Kraz's character sheet with all his equipment and stats. Notice his skills. Kraz is quite good at keeping enemies from escaping with his high strength value and high escape skill value. Kraz is quite proud of his superior bastard sword, giving him +6 damage. Wow! Kraz has completed a few quests, including the 5 starter quests, though he has met with a few quest failures. Failure in this game is not always the end of the world. As a matter of fact, if you can find a good treasure, a new weapon, or a great piece of armor, it can all be worth it in the end. You just dust yourself off and try again, wiser and stronger. Here's something kind of fun. Before I had access to a printer and I was able to print the character sheets, yes, it is possible to completely make an original character sheet using just a lined piece of paper. Using this homemade character sheet, I was able to complete the first 5 training quests with Kraz. Speaking of quests, quest objectives in D100 Dungeon are many and varied. Quests range from slay a certain amount of monsters, slay a boss monster, explore a certain amount of rooms, collect a certain amount of objective items, and all sorts of other quest objectives to challenge and empower the brave adventurers as they seek new treasures and challenging experiences from which to increase their skills. It is highly recommended that a new adventurer begin by completing the first 5 dungeon training quests. These quests will ensure that a new character has the needed treasures, weapons, armors, and experience to begin tackling the more difficult quests. Using the innovative and fast mapping table, adventurers quest through varied dungeons that are more or less procedurally generated as you go along. And even if the same quest is attempted multiple times, you will not be adventuring through the same dungeon. The dungeon is created as you go along using the mapping table. It's quite a unique experience and adds to the flavor and excitement of D100, making it quite the unique solo adventure game. Through the labyrinthian tunnels and hallways of the dungeon, you may come across certain geographic challenges and encounters. These challenges can both reward and challenge the adventurer in ways that are unique. It's as if the dungeon itself has come alive to challenge the adventurer and block its progress or offer its rewards if the adventurer is skillful enough to succeed. Take heed, adventurers, for you're not the only thing moving about the dungeon's depths. Powerful and terrible foes will do everything they can to block your progress and prevent you from completing your quests. Will you succumb to their mighty blows, or will you be victorious in battle, smiting your foes with both blade, bow, and blasts of magic? It's all quite dramatic and very rewarding. Everything you need to know about the enemy is contained on a single line of text. The enemy's name, stats, loot table that you will roll if victorious, and any special abilities are all contained on a single line of text in the encounter table. Each entry in the encounter table is its own enemy. Each enemy poses its own challenge, and they all are quite unique. Knowing your enemy, what they're capable of, and especially what they drop as loot, is the key to success and succeeding in your quest endeavors. Knowing when to fight and when to flee is the key to victory. As far as fleeing goes, oftentimes it's better to let the enemy flee, if such an opportunity presents itself. And to the victors go the spoils. Rolling on a loot table in D100 dungeon after a combat is both satisfying and rewarding. Will you roll for a great new weapon or armor? Or perhaps instead of an armor or weapon, you forego that and perhaps roll on the item table. Perhaps finding a potion that will come in great use later, even if just to sell. Knowing what table to roll when and why is often a key to victory. Perhaps that goblin warlock has the quest objective item that you've been searching for in his treasure A table. Only one way to find out. Better loot him. And you can't talk about loot and treasure without talking about some legendary equipment. Oh yes, D100 Dungeon has these powerful artifacts, and they are awesome. Though rare, if you can find these awesome items, they completely change the way a character interacts with the game, often empowering them in ways that are beyond the character's normal capabilities. And yes, adventurers, beware, for in these dungeons there be dragons. The mightiest foes await the mightiest adventurers, and they guard the greatest treasures of all. Thank you for watching the video. This concludes the overview portion of the video, and we'll move right ahead to the quick review. Thank you so much. I look forward to making more videos covering D100 Dungeon content soon. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. And now for the final review. Well, I just can't say enough good things about the D100 Dungeon solo adventure game by Martin Knight. 10 out of 10. Let me tell you, 100 out of 100. Everything on this game is absolutely amazing as far as, let's just go over a few major categories. Value, 10 out of 10. Whether you get this game in PDF form or go ahead and order, as I have, the hardcover print version or the softcover version also in print, let me tell you, you're getting your money's worth. There's a whole lot of game here. Regardless of what kind of character, make a few characters. It's a blast. Let me tell you, the quests are great. The character creation is fun and varied. Given what's in the base game, and yes, I said base game, D100 Dungeon at this point in time is more or less a game system. And it's so awesome that there are expansion books available, adventure books available for this wonderful game system. Can't say enough. Value 10 out of 10. Theming 100% is incredible and on point. The fantasy is there. Everything from you're in a dungeon and it's dark, giant rats. Oh my goodness. Zombies come shuffling by. Oh my goodness. You've fallen into a pit. Trap doors, locked doors. It's all here. It's all here, and it's all represented, and it's all very thematic, very well done. It's very theater of the mind. It's all happening on lines of text on paper, but in your mind, you are having the time of your life. As far as theme goes with objectionable material, I know there's people that are sensitive to that, or if they're looking to get this game for their preteens, they're mathematically inclined and mature, I don't know, 9 and 12-year-olds. As far as objectionable material, I would say there's not much here that would be scarier or more objectionable than what might have been seen in the Lord of the Rings film trilogy. There's nothing more than that. It's magic, it's fantasy. Yes, there are the power of darknesses that you're fighting against, but in that regard, it's all very safe and fun, and even in failure, what I like about this game, even in failure, there's often a growth opportunity for your character, or even as a player, you might have, come to later understand, I had an option then that I didn't understand until I sat and thought about it. And I think that's a good thing for people, and especially kids, through gaming can understand these kind of situations and learn new experiences and things like that. So as far as value, it's there. Theming and gaming, it's there. Fun factor, it's there. Expandability, it's there. Just a quick little preview, in one of the expansions that I hope to do a video for here soon, there's party play. Yes, multiplayer. And I've read the rules through, and it's just a slight variation on the base rules, more or less, but oh my goodness, the amount of fun that can add by bringing another player to the table. But in the meantime, for the base game, the D100 Dungeon solo adventure game by Martin Knight, the version in print, I believe, is version 3. Just get it. The only question I have for you, I hope you have questions for me. Feel free to email me at D100superfan at Gmail. The only question I have for you is, why aren't you playing D100? Go ahead and order yourself a print copy. Get the PDFs. There is a playable free version that's print and play, but that's based on the old rule set, but it can get you going as far as creating a character and learning the flow of the game. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing about your adventures. Thank you for taking the time to learn about this wonderful game. I had a blast telling you about it, and I look forward to sharing more of this wonderful game with you in the future. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Martin Knight, Mr. Martin Knight, for putting out this wonderful game. And I'm a fan. I'm a super fan. Thank you so much. I'm going to go play some D100. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.